Imagine you're 16 years old. You wake up one morning, and there's blood. No doctor, no internet, no medicine, no one to tell you what's happening. Now imagine this isn't happening today. It's happening 20,000 years ago. How did women survive something that happened every single month? Without pads, without tampons, and without modern medicine? The answer reveals one of history's most fascinating untold stories. Every month, for thousands of years, women around the world faced exactly the same challenge. Every civilization had to find its own solution. Some believed menstruation was a blessing. Others believed it was a curse. Others surrounded them with myths and fear. But one question remains. How did it all begin? To find the answer, we have to travel back to the very beginning of human history. Long before kingdoms, before pyramids, before written language, people lived as hunters and gatherers. Life was dangerous. Finding food was never guaranteed. Every day was a fight for survival. Now imagine dealing with a monthly period in that world. There were no hospitals, no pharmacies, no sanitary products. Yet women continued living, traveling, hunting, raising children, and helping their communities survive. But how? Without modern technology, women turned to nature. Soft moss, large leaves, animal hides, grass, tree fibers. Different communities used different materials depending on where they lived. What's remarkable is that people on different continents, who had never met each other, found surprisingly similar solutions. It was one of humanity's earliest examples of practical problem solving. But surviving each month wasn't the only challenge. They also needed to know when the next cycle would begin. Thousands of years later, archaeologists discovered a small carved object in Central Africa. Today, it's known as the Ishango bone. Its surface is covered with carefully carved marks. At first, researchers believed it was simply an ancient counting tool. But another theory changed everything. Some scientists noticed that the carved patterns closely matched the 28-day lunar cycle, almost the same length as the average menstrual cycle. Could this have been one of the world's first period trackers? No one can say for certain, but if the theory is correct, one of humanity's oldest calendars may have been created to understand a woman's monthly cycle. As humans built the world's first cities, life became more organized. People created laws, built temples, invented writing. But one mystery still remained. Why did women bleed every month? Without modern science, the answers came from beliefs, religion, and imagination. And that's where our story enters the world's first great civilization, Mesopotamia. In ancient Mesopotamia, menstruation was surrounded by mystery. Some believed menstrual blood carried powerful spiritual energy. Others believed it made a woman temporarily ritually impure. Because of these beliefs, some women were expected to stay away from certain religious ceremonies until their period ended. It sounds contradictory. How could something be seen as both powerful and dangerous? Yet that was exactly how many ancient cultures understood it. Thousands of years later, another civilization looked at the same problem differently. Along the Nile River, the Egyptians became famous for their medical knowledge. Instead of relying only on myths, they carefully observed the human body. Around 1800 BC, they created one of the oldest medical documents ever discovered. Today, it is known as the Kahan Gynecological Papyrus. The Kahan Papyrus focused almost entirely on women's health. It discussed menstruation, pregnancy, fertility, and common health problems. Although many treatments were based on the knowledge of that time, the remarkable part was this. Ancient Egyptian doctors believed women's health deserved careful medical attention. Thousands of years before modern hospitals, they were already recording observations and possible treatments. But medical knowledge solved only part of the problem. Women still had to manage their monthly bleeding. Some historians believe Egyptian women may have used soft linen and possibly softened papyrus as early menstrual products. The evidence is still debated, but one thing is certain. Women throughout history continued finding practical solutions with the materials available around them. As Egyptian knowledge spread, another powerful civilization rose in Europe. Ancient Greece, the birthplace of philosophy, science, and democracy. But when it came to women's health, Some of history's greatest minds got surprisingly important things wrong. Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, believed menstruation helped remove excess blood from a woman's body. It sounded scientific for its time, but it wasn't correct. Then came Aristotle. He believed women were biologically less perfect than men, and that menstrual blood played an inferior role in creating new life. These ideas weren't supported by modern science, yet they influenced medical thinking for centuries. Sometimes, even brilliant people can be completely wrong. The Romans inherited many Greek ideas, but they also added new superstitions. The writer Pliny the Elder claimed that a menstruating woman could spoil crops, sour wine, or even harm nature simply by being nearby. Today, these claims sound unbelievable, but at the time, many people accepted them as facts. Those beliefs spread across Europe and continued influencing society for hundreds of years. As centuries passed, many myths survived longer than real medical knowledge. In some places, women were excluded from certain religious or social activities during menstruation. These traditions weren't based on biology. They were based on fear, misunderstanding, and old beliefs passed from one generation to the next. Yet while some societies held on to myths, others quietly searched for better answers. While much of Europe was still surrounded by myths and fear, another part of the world was taking a different path. During the Islamic Golden Age, great physicians like Ibn Sina, Avicenna, and Al-Zarawi carefully studied women's health. They wrote detailed medical texts about menstruation, pregnancy, and reproductive health. Instead of treating menstruation as something shameful, they treated it as a normal medical condition that deserved care and understanding. For their time, that was a remarkable step forward. But history doesn't always move forward. Centuries later, during the Victorian Era, silence replaced science. Menstruation became something people refused to discuss. Many girls grew up without understanding their own bodies. Some doctors even claimed that studying, playing sports, or thinking too hard during a period could damage a woman's health. Today, we know those ideas were completely wrong. Yet millions of women lived under those beliefs for generations. The late 19th and 20th centuries slowly changed everything. The first commercial menstrual products appeared. Later, new medical research improved women's health care. Modern pads, tampons, menstrual cups, and period underwear gave women more comfort and freedom than ever before. But even today, millions of girls around the world still miss school because they cannot afford basic menstrual products. Technology has advanced, yet dignity is still not equally available to everyone. When we look back across thousands of years, one question matters more than any other. It isn't, what did ancient women use during their periods? The real question is, how did each society choose to treat women during one of the most natural parts of human life? History gives many different answers. Some chose fear, some chose myths, some chose compassion, but the most important lesson has never changed. This is normal. This is human. This deserves care, not shame.